Foundations and tiers will likely be in progress by the time of your arrival on site. Depending on the size of the bridge, sometimes the foundation will be completely finished. As I mentioned in previous sections, checking the elevation as part of your site resurvey is imperative, because catching any errors early on can allow you to correct height differences using the 5 to 10 centimeters of play in each tier height as you build upward. Also, when filling tiers, it's easy to overfill. A good strategy is to mark 30 centimeter lifts in spray paint on the interior of the tier walls in order to easily communicate with the workers, the community, and the rest of your team that after 30 centimeters of rock fill, we need to add a grout slurry. Filling in lifts is important to achieve better penetration of the grout slurry into and around the rock fill. Now, in Form 6.3, our first photo comes up at Step 3, constructing the masonry walls square and plumb. That's B2 left and right and C1 left and right, corresponding to the tiers or the foundation. We also want to verify the wall thickness. Our next photo is just after Step 4, and we're going to be filling the interior of the foundation or tier with rocks in those 30 centimeter lifts I mentioned before. On the top of each lift, fill the voids between the rocks with smaller rocks and cover with that layer of concrete slurry. And this is actually mistyped. It should be a grout slurry. And note how it says in here that fill must not exceed 3 lifts per day. So we don't want to be building more than 1 meter high per day, which is a good rule of thumb because we're not going to be building more than 1 tier, which is generally the size of 1 meter per day. We can fill the foundation in more than 3 lifts because foundation is buried in the ground and the masonry walls have support from the hydrostatic pressure. So we can actually fill the foundation all the way, even if that foundation is 1.5 meters tall. And this corresponds to photo B3 left and right or C2 left and right for the foundation. The final photo for this form is to cast the perimeter topping slab on the outer edges of each foundation. So only on the outside. In the inside, we leave those jagged kind of fill rocks sticking out to help create a better shear connection to the tier above. And this is going to be photo B4 left and right or C3 left and right. Throughout this process, the only thing you need to record as a critical dimension is the as-built length, width, and height of each tier or the foundation. Now, remember to double check that each side of the tier, all the 4 corners or the middle is all the same height. So sometimes what I'll see is you might get a different height on each corner of the tier ever so slightly. What you can do while marking this down is write all 4 corner dimensions. It's better to have more information than less information. We can always go back after the process, average that out, or do whatever we need to do with that data, but always record more data when possible.